everyone, I'm back. It's part 2 of my chop and chat. So thank you for continuing and joining in to the second part of the chop and chat. So I'm going to go right on into just continuing to chop. This next one I want to get into is Second and Spruce. Second and Spruce is owned by Erica Kane from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. What, honey? That's Poppy. If you watched my first part of the video, Poppy is now active. She might be saying hi. So thank you for the first video. I had to do 2 parts because my husband came home through the garage and, you know, just for noise purposes. So here I'm starting again. Erica Kane owns Second and Spruce from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Fantastic vendor. She's new to the wax world. She's coming up on, I think, around a year. October, November will be a year or so in the industry. She's working on the pre-order that she had in, I think it was the end of August, beginning of September. I don't remember, honestly. She's working on all that stuff now, and she's going to be doing a Christmas sampler sometime in November, I believe. But I have quite a few of her products here to chop up. So this one is Palo Santo, Marshmallow Fireside, Vanilla Bean Mallow, and Blackberry. So this is one that I think this one was actually offered on the pre-order, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't buy any more of this one because this is a rich blend to my nose, and I don't always grab for blackberry stuff, to tell you the truth. Not because I don't like it, but it's just okay to me, and that's just my nose. But I will say Erica's her wax is very soft, kind of like Teddy B's. It's very soft in texture, kind of sticky. So if you chop up Teddy B's, you know how you have that little bit of a residue on your fingers. I do feel the same from Second and Spruce here. But I like that she layers these, and there's always a little bit of surprise on the bottom. So it's kind of reminiscent of Teddy B's, because Tiffany does do the decorations on the bottom of her souffles. I have some Teddy B's to chop up here, so you will see what I mean if you're new to the wax industry or the vendor wax world. And then she also does this cute little accenting on the top here. So I'm going to chop this down here. And this really, you can chop with a butter knife. You don't have to chop it with a chopper. This is so soft. You could even break it with your fingers once you have a piece chopped here. You know, if you want to add a little bit more, take a little bit away, something like that. I'm just going to go right for this. And then I'm going to chop this down in half. See how it just goes right back to its original shape. It's very malleable, and I really, really, really like that. I love the softer textured wax. So this one smells, on cold, you know, before I took it out of the container, it was kind of just, it was pretty singular, in that I was just really smelling Marshmallow Fireside. But this here, I'm getting the blackberry and the Palo Santo. So I'm going to get this going. This is a very nice, cool weather blend, and I see why she offered this one again in the past pre-order, I should say. This one, the wax is very sticky. You can see here how they just, you know, pull apart so nicely like that. So I'm going to put that in here, and then you can see a little bit of wax left over on my fingers. So I have my paper towel here. Miss Poppy's over on the sink. She's getting interested in what Mama's doing. Yeah, you can go back and nap, honey. It's okay. Your Wawa's right there, honey. That's her water. Wawa and Dinky. That's her water. And yes, I am one of those cat moms where my baby knows the language that I talk to her. She understands. Okay, actually, I'm going to do this. I have another Palo Santo blend here. This one is smoked Scotch tea. This is Palo Santo, butterscotch, chai tea, vanilla cone, and vanilla bean Noel. So if you watched my must-have blends for fall, butterscotch was in there as one of my must-haves, because butterscotch is such a warm, comforting blend, or oil, I should say, in blends. I thought I would wait and chop this one up when the weather got cooler. So these are her. Hi, honey. You want to say hi, sweetheart? Say hi, honey. Say hi, baby. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's okay. These are Erica's souffles. And this is the same, honestly, the same shape that Tiffany from Teddy Bees actually transferred her souffles to this size here. They're the same size, they're just a little more shallow and wider, I should say. So these ones here, Erica's wax throws beautifully. It throws beautifully in my home. So I'm going to chop these down kind of the same way that I chop Teddy Bees. So I chop it in half here, and then I'm going to chop these not quite as small as I chop Teddy Bees. I can get 16 melts out of a loaf, not a loaf, out of a souffle. So I'm just going to cut these kind of the same, and then if I find it's a little too strong, I'll just break a little piece off as I go. You know, take a little bit of a way. But smelling this right now on cold, this wafting up to my nose is butterscotch and Palo Santo. So it's a pretty nice blend, if I must say myself. So I like that these break apart like this, and these just these work beautiful in all warmers. I can attest to only tea light warmers and hot plates and a Scentsy. I only have I don't have any Scentsy warmers other than my Accord. I am not a fan of Scentsy warmers, so I can only say that Erica's wax performs well in those two, well, 2.5 varieties, we'll say. So there's that one, smoked Scotch tea. And the next one I have from Erica is Second in, oh my goodness, Haunted Carnival Nights. This is marshmallow fireside, caramel apples, funnel cake, cotton candy, dark berries, and an extra hint of smoke. So I was just talking about funnel cake yesterday with a group of wax friends, and funnel cake can be kind of spicy to my nose, and not all funnel cake, look how pretty that is, not all funnel cakes oils are created the same. So I haven't had Erica's funnel cake before, but right now smelling this, taking it out of the tin, this smells beautiful. This smells like cotton candy and caramel apple, creamy, a little bit of smoke, just a little bit of carnival yumminess. I'm not getting too much funnel cake, but that might come out when it's warmed up here. So I'm chopping these down here. Actually, you know, I said I'm not going to chop these the same way as Teddy Bees in terms of size, but I am realizing I'm chopping these into 8 pieces each. So yeah, we'll go with it and see. This is my first souffle, my first souffles I've chopped of Second in Spruce, I should say. So we'll see. I have 2 more here of Second in Spruce scents. They're mini loaves though. So this is, if you haven't had the opportunity to purchase from Second in Spruce yet, so you can see in live how her wax chops down here. So it does leave the residue on the fingers, so I think I might just go right into my Teddy Bees next after I finish chopping up these ones here. So that's Haunted Carnival Nights. Okay, next one is That Fall Feeling. This is Leaves, Bath & Body Works type, Pumpkin Pecan Waffle, Bath & Body Works type, Caramel Apple, and Marshmallow, excuse me, Campfire Marshmallow. So this one here is a blend I'm anticipating immensely, just because it has leaves and it has Pumpkin Pecan Waffles, which are 2 of my favorite fall blends. So this one here smells wonderful. Very caramel apple, very sticky campfire marshmallow, very pumpkin pecan waffle, but a beautiful seamless combination of those 3 there. So this one is sticking to my chopper here. As I'm cutting this, the aroma is just wafting up. I love when I chop something and I can get a preview of how it's going to smell just when these oils are activated a little bit. Does that smell nice? I really like this blend on cold. And I'm really even loving it more now on cold, that I can get a little bit of these oils activated. This one is quite sticky. Quite sticky. Okay, wipe my fingers off. So, I uploaded the first part of my Chop-In Chat, and of course I turned QVC on again and saw yet another thing that I want that I don't really need to buy. So, I think I better turn QVC off for the day. I have it on the TV. It's just on mute. There's something that I'm looking at that's going to be in this show. It's a 3-hour show on right now, and I want to see what they look like live versus just the stock photo on the website. So, because, you know, sometimes the picture looks different than it does on TV. And then, of course, then things can look completely different in person than they do on TV. So, but this item, I have another one. I buy one every year. And I don't want to say what it is because I'm thinking of getting one as a gift, and that person might watch this. So I don't want to give it away. But this next one, oh man, this is Fall Coffee Shop. I know a lot of you guys have been loving up on this one. This is pumpkin spice latte, pumpkin roll, pumpkin cream, brown sugar, pecans, and espresso. So all that quintessential Starbucks pumpkin coffee goodness. So I might as well go ahead and tell you my spiel on pumpkin spice. So I might have alluded to this in some of my other videos over the years, but you know, especially recently, because I've been talking a lot about fall wax and fall blends because I've been enjoying them for the last couple of months in my home. Pumpkin spice and I are not always friends. Pumpkin spice has to be, I think I talked about this, and I just remember talking about pumpkin pie and my husband and that stuff, but pumpkin spice oil has to be very, 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 very perfectly blended for me, because I get a funkiness and almost an off-putting scent from some pumpkin spice. That's why, you know, I see a lot of people enjoy, you know, pumpkin cupcake. Like pumpkin cupcake from Bath and Body Works, I absolutely hate it. I hate it because it smells like putrid vomit to me. Just the combination of the spices that they use whenever they're trying to depict what pumpkin spice really is in reality. To me, a lot of oils are just fall so flat, and they take on a putrid funkiness to me. So this one here, I knew that this one would be okay because you have the cream, the sugar, the coffee, and the pecan to offset some of this nonsense up here that could be potentially stinky to me. So there are some outright pumpkin scents out there that I melt and I throw it right in the garbage. I don't even talk about on my channel because I just sometimes can't even think about smelling the bag. It's kind of like, you know, it's another reason why I can't drink beer very often. I had too many experiences in college spending the night in the bathroom, and sometimes you smell something and it just makes you sick. Yeah, beer's like that to me, and pumpkin spice sometimes is like that to me. And you know, if you go to Home Goods or TJ Maxx or somewhere and just smell some of those cheap pumpkin spice candles, you'll get that scent that I'm describing. You know, most of the time, you can see what I mean. And I'm not saying that the oils that vendors use are cheap. I'm just trying to describe to you so you can understand the funkiness that I get from pumpkin spice. You can see how rich those are in the oils. You can see the saturation there on my paper towel. I'm going to throw some of these away here. Poppy has a zoomie. If you have a cat, you know what a zoomie is. Okay, so Zucchini Bread Jubilee L3. This is vanilla ombre cake, creamy whipped cream frosting, and marshmallow fluff center. I've never had this one before, but I think Christy or Jenny, one of those girls, said I had to try this. So most of the time, Jenny and Christy and I like the same scents, although Christy does like some fruity stuff that I don't care for. You know, it's too fruity for me, but I love zucchini bread. And Jen's zucchini bread is one of my favorites in the industry at that. So I had to try this as a no-brainer. So L3's wax is a little more harder. It's hard compared to second and spruce texture. So chopping this one up here, and oh, I love it. I love it. It's already wafting. You can hear Poppy's collar running around. She's shooting from the couch over to the top of the refrigerator, on the top of the cabinets. She's zooming around. So that's my girl. So this is just delicious. I thank you girls for convincing me to buy this, because you know I would love this. So thank you if you're watching. So the last couple of months, L3 has changed their Bitty Betty loaf bags to these smaller, more streamlined bags. And I understand why she did it, but I'm not in love with them in terms after you chop it. Sometimes it gets squishy in here. That's just my opinion, and probably because I've been used to the other bags for 2.5 years. So this one here, I have wax on my shirt. Gotta go put some shout on that to get the oil before it sits in too badly. Okay, next one. Let's go into, I'm getting my favorite one up here lined up. This next one we'll do Swanky. This is espresso, pumpkin pecan waffle, salted caramel, pumpkin pie, chestnuts, and brown sugar. This is, of course, Jeannie Jeffrey from Silverdale, Washington, is Swanky. This was from her ultimate coffee sampler that was not offered, this past pre-order, of course, but the one that we most recently received. So this one here comes out clean. I love to chop these. I'm going to chop these just like a pie, like a pizza pie. Pizza pie. What have I turned into? I never say pizza pie. Cut these in pieces of 8. This is a coffee blend, so it'll be pretty strong. Jeannie has fantastic coffee blends, in my opinion. I've been waiting for her to do a coffee sampler, and she did one. She offered, I think, 7 or 8 full souffles like this in her sampler. Yeah. I probably would have bought 2 if they weren't $63 a piece, but one's enough for me. I'll use it up, and then hope that sometime in the next year she offers another one, so I can get some yumminess going. Okay, I'm going to do Glitterati. This was a piece I bought. I bought something off of Candace Stalling, I think, and she put this in as a freebie. Candace is fantastic like that. This is Glitterati Lavender and North Pole, and I like this blend. I wanted to chop this up just to have a little bit of some mint going, because I do like mint. I'm just going to chop these up in these little pieces like this. I do like mint in my home, even though I do really try to keep the minty ones for November and December, and even into January. Keep that to be holiday. Like I was explaining in the first part about pine, and how pine is something that I'm not in love with straight pine all the time anymore. Okay, so I don't want to say we're coming down to the end, but we're making a dent. So the next batch is Miss Tiffany Smith from Houston, Texas, and that would be Teddy Bees. This is Salem. This is Gala apples, Fraser fir, figs, mahogany, and cedar wood. This smells so good on cold. And I don't even really remember why I grabbed this one, because usually, Tiffany, if you watch any of my videos, especially about Teddy Bees, Teddy Bees is right up there, tied for number one with favorite vendor. And I don't even know why I grabbed Salem, but I'm really glad I did, because this is just a striking apple fragrance. So good. It's not Mac apple either. It's a different type of apple. It's gala oil. It's gala. It's got a little bit of fir, so it gives you a little bit of that holiday. This could be melted at Christmas time even, because it's kind of reminiscent a little bit of 'Tis the Season, but it has a little bit, it has way more apple than 'Tis the Season. You know, 'Tis the Season is a Bath and Body Works scent, one of my favorite holiday scents out there from B&BW. This one, as I'm so happy that I got this one. I can't tummy time you right now, Poppy. Tummy time and Poppy. She lays on her back. She wants her tummy rubbed. And then most of the time, she loves to, you know, all of a sudden out of nowhere just bite. You know, like cats do. They want their tummy rubbed and then it gets to be too much and then they try to eat your hand. So, yeah. Yeah, Mama can't do that right now, honey. So, this next one. Do I have any more apple ones? No. Modern Farmhouse. Now, this one was one that was offered the last pre-order. I think I bought a souffle or a tub. I do not remember, but I should have bought a bigger size than I did because I smelled this one on cold again and it's fantastic. So this might be one I cut my list down substantially. After we did our live, you know, the group of us, the 7 of us that did the live, the Friday that the Teddy Bees pre-order opened, I initially thought that I was going to get a tub of this, but I cut my list down substantially from the ones that I thought I was going to buy, and I am hoping to get those in the ready to ship. So I'm going to get some more of this in the ready to ship. This is Tonka Ood, Vanilla Birch, and Egyptian Amber. So this one is just right up my alley. I love the hell out of this. This is so good. I mean, I know some of these oils can be intimidating, but you just got to give it a chance. And these are so good. I love this so much. So I'm going to chop these down. This is my very first pre-order from Teddy Bees. This was poured in February of 22. So this is one, I've been savoring this one until it came back because it hasn't been back, you know, from then until this last pre-order. So I chopped these down into 16 pieces. And this one is going to just go swimmingly in my home. Love this. Love it. It's so good. I will actually say that I think that Second In Spruce's wax is a little stickier than this is. Even though this texture is beautiful, I love this texture, Second In Spruce is a little stickier to you. So if that's something that triggers you or you don't particularly care for in waxes, I know a lot of people have texture issues, and I don't know if that is one of them. If you're somebody who doesn't like to chop, just be aware that when you get Second In Spruce, it's going to be a little soft and gooey. So, just full disclosure on that. Let's go into Pumpkin Queen. This is one that I wasn't sure I was going to keep this. I was actually going to destash this, but I decided to keep it because, you know, I went back and forth with it. I smelled it many times, and I couldn't quite put my finger on what this one smells like to me. But this one is fresh pumpkin, clove, bourbon, toasted oak, vanilla santal, pistachio, and finished with cashmere and cocoa butter. So this is a very much cashmere and cocoa butter base to me. It's very dominant in those oils to me. But I thought, you know, because the cashmere, cocoa and butter and cashmere, when I first found Vendor Wax, I went to town with that oil. And I kind of have, you know, been there, done that. But this one here, I thought, you know, I need to melt it and see really what does that pumpkin and clove and bourbon and all that stuff do. So I decided to keep it. So here we are, chopping it up, and I'm going to melt it this month. So I will do, I'll talk about this one in my next empty video. Not the one I'm going to do tomorrow, but the next one after that, because I'm going to melt this one pretty soon. So yes, I am going to be doing my empties video tomorrow. Like I said, I had intentions of doing it today, but QVC distracted me. And then I have been getting caught up. Yesterday was Saturday, yes. I started to say in my first video, Yesterday, the Ryder Cup was over the weekend. My husband had a concert he was going to yesterday evening, and it happened to be outside, and we had some weather come in, so his concert was canceled. So when he's gone, I get caught up on all of my Real Housewives shows, because my husband does not like those shows, and I don't make him watch them with me. So I watch those when he's not home, or he's downstairs, or something like that. So I finally am caught up now on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, you know, the hometown girls here to me. And I'm finally caught up on that, and I finally started watching Orange County, which actually just had their last reunion, so they're done for the season. So, cookies and cashmere. This is sugar cookie dough, cashmere cream, and vanilla birch. This is a sensual, cozy, yummy hug of a scent. So I am in episode 2 or 3 of Orange County. So any of you out there watch The Housewives? I watch all the franchises except Atlanta is one that's been around for a long time. And for whatever reason, I wasn't interested in watching Atlanta. And Potomac, I started watching Potomac when it premiered, you know, very beginning. And then I think Karen is her name. She's kind of the queen bee one. I just couldn't handle her. It's kind of like, my husband doesn't like to watch The Housewives because he gets angry at some of the things that they talk about and the arguments that they have and all of that crap that they do on that show. So I understand what he was talking about, because I feel that way when I watch Atlanta and when I watch Potomac. So my favorite franchise, if it all comes down to it, it's not Salt Lake, even though that's my hometown. Not hometown, but you know, I live here. That are not my favorite. My favorite is either Beverly Hills or New Jersey. And Beverly Hills, although I'm a little nervous because Lisa Rinna, I love Lisa Rinna. Say what you want about her, she just has it. And, you know, she knows it too. And not only that, QVC used to carry her clothing line, and I have quite a bit of Lisa Rinna clothes. I love just the way they fit. I love the material. I love the quality of it, and it just sucks because she doesn't make the clothes anymore. So, Beverly Hills, I'm anxious to see when that one premieres who they're going to get on there to replace Rinna, because, you know, Erica's going through all of her crap with her divorce from Tom, you know, her husband. And Vanderpump hasn't been on there for many seasons. And Dorit, I can't stand Dorit. So I just, I'm a little nervous about Beverly Hills. This is pumpkin season. This is rich cake infused with pumpkin spice, creamy vanilla coffee, oat milk creamer, brown sugar, and Palo Santo. So this is another one. I bought this one and Pumpkin Queen last year. And this one I like. It's got that coffee quality to it, but I wanted to let this one get nice and cured, because when I smelled this originally, it was very light to me, very vanilla. So I let this cure over a year, and it smells good now. Like this would go fantastic with more coffee, with zucchini bread, with more Palo Santo, you name it. I'm going to chop this one up and get this one going too. So I'm going to talk about this one relatively soon. So, yeah, Beverly Hills and then Jersey. So, Jersey, there's, everybody loves Teresa. And Teresa doesn't trigger me like she does a lot of other people. I don't know why, she just doesn't. I kind of have a soft spot for her, you know, the way she lost both of her parents the way she did, and her doing prison for, you know, something her husband did. You know, whether she knew about it or not, still, her kids had both of their parents at one time or another in prison, and she lost all that time with her mother, because her mother died not that long after she got out of prison, and then her dad passed. This is pumpkin cookie jar. This is oatmeal, brown sugar, vanilla, pumpkin, sugar cookies, and a hint of maple. This is from June of this year. So I'm going to chop this up and see if it's cured enough, because sometimes with me, vanilla needs quite a bit of cure, and bakery at that. So my favorite one on Jersey is I hate to say this, but I love Margaret. I love Margaret and Melissa. They're my two favorite ones. Jennifer Aiden, F no. I can't stand Jennifer Aiden. Nope. Her and Bill are fake. There's just something with it. And oh, I like Dolores too. Dolores, I mean, everyone loves Dolores. I am so happy that she's met Paulie, her new boyfriend, and Frank is butthurt that you know, she's not spending as much time with him, even though they were much better friends than they were spouses, because I think Frank is a playboy, and Frank is not a man that I would ever get involved with, you know, just because of his morals, his integrity, and all that stuff. But I will say that they did make two beautiful children. Like Dolores' son, Frankie Jr., he's so handsome. He is such a handsome man. And so there's Dolores. And then Salt Lake City to comment on that, because I know, you know, there's probably a lot of you out there that do watch The Housewives. So I figure I can't talk to this about really anybody, because nobody watches The Housewives that I know of personally, you know, in my daily life. So last one of Teddy B's. This is Anthony's Cabin. This is birch leaves, citrus peel, pine cones, white florals, vetiver, sandalwood, and woods. Complicated one. This was up for voting for the last pre-order, but I don't think it made it. But I'm going to go ahead and chop this up and use it, because it's kind of a wintry blend. And I thought this would be a good one to segue from fall into winter. So I might as well get this one chopped up and available. So I chop my wax and then use it. If I don't have it chopped, I'm not going to use it. I'm not a person that chops as they go. I, don't have time to break out my chopping board and chopper in the middle of the day if I want to try a new blend. I've got to have it ready for me, just because I don't have all that time to spend during the day. Hence why I do these on the weekends, these videos, when I chop up my wax. And I do chop up quite a bit, but I also do melt quite a bit of wax. So you may think, man, you're going to get through all that in a month. No, probably not, but I will get through a lot of it, because I faithfully change my wax every 4 to 5 hours, depending on the blend and depending on the vendor. I do that. So, okay, I'm going to throw this little pile away here. Another show that I love to watch is Botched. Botched is a plastic surgery show from Newport Beach, California. Dr. Terry Dubrow and Dr. Paul Nassif. Actually, Terry and Heather is on Housewives of Orange County. She was on that show years ago, and then they left for a period of time, and then they came back. But I just love the relationship that Paul and Terry have. And this next one I want to go into is Lambo Leap. Yes, I've been hoarding this. This is my oldest muffin I have from RG, from Rose Girls. This is 2.5 years old. This is from February of 21. My very first pre-order I bought with her. So I double bagged it because it is strong. This is Cider Lane, Sweater Weather, and Vanilla Bean Noel. But this is fantastic. So I always told Marty, if something happens to me where I'm disfigured and my chest and my face is involved, we're going to Newport Beach and we're seeing Terry and Paul. And, you know, because they are miracle workers, you know, see some of the stuff that they fix and just some of the things that they can do. Like, I mean, I work in healthcare and I work with surgeons, and I'm just amazed at what surgeons really do and what they can reconstruct, what they can put back together, what they can create. I'm just in awe of a lot of doctors. So, I have a soft spot for surgeons, I should say. So this one's chopped up here. So Poppy's over there playing with her. I don't even know what to call it. It's a common cat toy. It's one of those 3-tier things where the ball rolls around. Yeah, my mom, when she was down here last year, I think, took one of the balls out one of the tiers, and I don't know where it went. So she only has 2 balls in there. I know that's the dump bum, but she loves that toy. And so at Christmas time this past year, I bought her a new one on Amazon that has double the balls on each level. So there's 6. She wants nothing to do with it. She won't even touch it. So it's actually in the box to be given away. She doesn't really like it, and I'm not going to let it sit here while she keeps playing with the broken one. And, you know, Poppy's my child, so Christmas, I've got to get creative what I get her for Christmas, because, you know, she doesn't know at all, but it's just, it's funny. You know, I think all cat parents are, not cat parents, but pet parents are like that. So that one's chopped up. Okay. Okay. Have my loaves and my Blossom bar. I'm going to crack into this Blossom bar here. This is the very first Blossom bar I ever bought from Vintage Chic back in 2021. Look at that. This is Saturday Evening Post. This is zucchini bread and vanilla bean Noel. Simple, classic, perfection. Zucchini bread. I love zucchini bread. Why I have multiple Blossom bars because, like you, if you are a Vintage Chic supporter, I went crazy buying Blossom bars when Kirby announced her impending retirement. So I'm going to put this actually down in this bag here, because I, 1, might sell this, de-stash it in the future, or 2, this is a lot of wax, so I don't really need to chop up this whole bag at once. So I have this handy bag here that I double bagged, and yes, it smells just a little bit like Lambo Leap, but it's okay to me because it's not going to transfer over to the zucchini bread, because just chopping that down here, it's just hello zucchini bread in my face. So, and not only that, this is what I'm going to use frequently because I want to blend this and I'm going to use this. I put zucchini bread in a lot of places in my home. You know, when I don't know what to melt, I just go for the zucchini bread. So her Blossom bar molds are cakes of 6. I don't really know if this is supposed to be like a soap mold or what this is supposed to be, but I like that it comes out in these individual cakes. And I know I said I would put a paper towel down, and I realized it after I started chopping here. But I find that I know some of you can get 8 pieces out of a cake. The last, I finished Milk Glass, which is another blend that Kirby offered in a Blossom bar. I had half of a Blossom bar of that. I chopped, that was in my last chop and chat video actually. I chopped some in 6 and some in 8. And I found that I liked the performance of the 6 versus the 8. So that little bit of extra is needed. But this smells just fantastic. That is a good zucchini bread oil. Right up there next to L3, if I must say. I love L3s. I dropped a piece of wax on the floor. I'm going to bend over and get it so the cat doesn't eat it. I don't need a vet bill right now. So let's pick this up here. Okay. Put it in the napkin here. Okay. So that's this one here. I don't like Sunday evenings. It's my least favorite day of the week, time of the week, I should say, because tomorrow's Monday. Every time I do a video on Sundays, I think, damn, tomorrow's Monday already. Gotta go back to the grind. You know, like millions of households across the country are groaning about right now. My husband's the same way, although his depression gets a little tough in the mornings, so it's a little bit more of a challenge with him, but I try to pep him up. So, okay, just to show you, this is half of a Blossom bar in here. So that's a good amount of wax, and frankly, you know, my opinion is Blossom bars are big, and this is zucchini bread, so this one doesn't really count, but if this was a blend that I was just not overwhelmingly in love with, this would be more than enough for me. So I think the fact that people are selling half blossom bars is very, very smart. And I intend to do that also sometime next year. Because really that's a lot of wax. And, you know, share it with somebody who maybe couldn't buy it at that time, or, you know, found Kirby's wax way late, or, you know, there's just so many scenarios out there. So that's my opinion, at least. I'm going to wash my hands real quick before I go into the next one. I wanted to wash my hands because just doing Teddy Bees and doing Second In Spruce, I just have a buildup on my hands. So thank you for being patient with me. Cleaning this up here. Let's do the next. Another vintage chic product. This is Martha and Snoop. Another hands down fantastic blend. This is zucchini bread, vanilla butter fudge, cupcakes at Tiffany's, and brown sugar. So another one that I have a couple of blossoms of. But this is another one from March of 2022. So it's nice and cured. This one is a fabulous blend. So damn good. I love this. So I know a lot of people, you know what I'm going to do? I know a lot of people heat up Kirby's wax to soften it, and I probably should do that. But just for time purposes of this video, I'm just going to go for it. So let's try the paper towel trick. So if you're watching and you gave me this tip, thank you. It'll probably save me some cleanup before I go on to my last 2 loaves. I have 2 more loaves over here to do. So this, I can smell this blend now. It's so good. I mean, Kirby has really good bakery blends. You know, I know she's been in business for a long time, and there's a lot of blends out there that I never had the opportunity to try. But I will say I'm very thankful that Martha and Snoop is so well loved as it is. So I had an opportunity to have this deliciousness in my life, because this is just fantastic. I love this. This one, collectible lunchbox. It's hard to be a diamond in a rhinestone world. Those are just some of my favorite ones from Kirby. So, okay. Crumble City here, aren't we? Let's just go ahead and shift. You know what? It might be easier if I chop it like this. Turning it on its side and just chopping like this, because this is like, look at that piece. Even her wax recipe is crumbly. I think the crumbliest I have of all the vendors that I've tried over the years. But that's okay. And not only that, these shards will I like this because then I can just put a little bit in the warmer, fill it up as I need to, and just let that scent just completely envelop my home. So I like that. Okay. This is not perfect. This is not ASMR perfect. Soap cutting, wax cutting, all of those things. I know I am a fan of ASMR, and I know a lot of people are too. ASMR is the whispers and the crinkle of wrappers and all of that stuff. So I know my husband doesn't understand ASMR, and I said, that's okay, you don't have to. It's not for everybody. So this is going to go down in here, and I think, I'm just going to roughly chop down in here. I think I've said it when I started doing chop and chats. My main goal is just to not chop my fingertip off. That's my main goal. I don't give a crap what the wax looks like because it all gets melted down anyways, really. And when you have something as crumbly as this, I mean, it's really no contest. The wax always wins. So, I am going to scoop this into the bag. I don't chop any wax that's not on a chop and chat anymore. So I haven't even tried to heat the wax up in the microwave to see if it makes any difference. But maybe next time I do some chopping, I'll chop some off camera and see how the microwave helps this texture. So I'm gonna put that down in there. Look at that. My chopping board is clean. So thank you to whoever recommended that to me. So I have a little bit. Okay. So that's my whole loaf of Martha and Snoop. Excited for this one. Okay. 2 more loaves here. I have loaves that I have moved a lot of loaves out of my life. I've given some away. I've sent some to friends. I've sold a couple. I'm not really buying loaves anymore unless it's from this vendor right here and it's in a blend that I absolutely love. This is Earl and Me. This is blueberry, cornbread muffin, and vanilla bean Noel. I had this in a small size, a year ago or so, and I loved it. I absolutely love it. I love Sassy Girl Aroma. I was tagged in a video over a month ago. It was around the time my aunt passed. Over a month ago of top five vendors and scents, and that video is coming this week. I promise it is. I had said that it's coming, and I mean it's coming. So that's coming. Sassy Girl is one of my top 5 vendors, so stay tuned for that. So I know a lot of people also microwave Julie's wax. So I'm just going to do the same as I did last time with Kirby's and just chop and go. This one isn't quite as crumbly as Kirby's is initially, but I know it can get a little rough there. But I love how beautiful. See, there's the crumble. I was just going to show how beautiful her chunks are in here, these chunky loaves. I love this, but I only have a couple of loaves. I did a Sassy Girl Aroma collection video right around the time I started my channel, which will be 2. My channel will be 2 in November. So I thought about doing another Sassy Girl Aroma collection video. I have a lot of her products, and I've thought about doing a collection video, but I'm thinking about it. So this is another one. Oh, hey, you gotta have fun. You gotta have fun. So it's just like cooking and baking. If you're not making a mess, are you really baking? You know, I know I'm not baking, but the concept is the same with the cleanup. And don't get me wrong, I clean up as I go. My mom taught me to clean up as you go, Ashley. So I do. So I'm gonna just break that in 2, and oh boy, okay. Let's see. Yeah, this is some new content for this video. I've never done a loaf on camera before like this. Certainly not 2 in a row. So I'm not doing this perfect. I know I'm not, but life isn't perfect, and I don't think it's meant to be. So neither is this. I mean, do I want to get wax all over my kitchen? No, but I can pick it up. Okay. That's why I have a tea towel down on the bottom of my chopping board also. So that's Earl and me. I think the next Sassy Girl loaf I chop, I will microwave also, so I can see how it works. So that's the entire loaf of Earl and me. Okay, let me just... Oh! Son of a biscuit. Okay. Thanks I should say, excuse my silence there when I'm trying to concentrate. You know, some of these things require concentration, and even though I'm good at multitasking, I'm not brilliant at it. So, okay, where did that go? Here it is. I just don't want my baby to grab it. All right, I have one more loaf here, guys, and then this video is a wrap. So, part one of this was a half an hour long, so this would have been an hour and a half of a video. So, okay, my last one here is a blend that's popular with L3, especially going into this time of year. This is Winter Snooze. This is icy peppermint, herbal lavender, and chamomile. So, I've had this loaf for a while. And I put it away and I forgot I had it. But I'm going to use it now because this is nice for bedtime. Nice for if you're stuffed up. Just nice for relaxation because it's herbal, lavender, chamomile, and peppermint. So just a good blend. And I think... yeah, that is good. That is just, it's perfect. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Leanna's Lullaby, which is the Johnson & Johnson bedtime bath. You know, that one that's out for babies at the store. This one, I can see why this one is popular. It already smells amazing on cold. And it hasn't even had the heat yet. That's the good part. Okay. I think I'm going to just chop this down one more time. I know some people can get 4 pieces across. Like this one looks a little chunky. Some of these end pieces are chunky. But sometimes, in my experience, lavender can be a little light. But this one also can be blended. I'm going to blend this one with a lot of different things. I have some ideas for this one. So, let's go ahead and get these boys in the bag. And then this video is a wrap. So, hope you guys enjoyed this Sunday night session of the Chop and Chats. And once again, thank you for understanding that I had to split it into 2 pieces. Two parts, I should say. So, I'm going to get these shards cleaned up here. I could have done this paper towel on this one, but I know that this wax is a little bit more controllable. So, okay. That is Winter Snooze. So, if you follow my channel, just know tomorrow I'm going to be doing my empties video after work, so watch for that one. And then I have some other content I'm going to be doing this week too. So, hope everyone has a beautiful week ahead. Stay safe. Happy fall. Happy October. And I'll see you soon.